Decay, the state or process of rotting or decomposition. The Perspective 2 mapping contest began on April 30th and ended June 25th, with 5 total submissions, all vying for a share of a $2,000 prize pool. So why decay? The initial style that the judges landed on was ruin or ruins, but it was feared that this would generate maps that were too similar in style. Crashed ships, ancient collapsed buildings, etc. Decay, on the other hand, was thought of as being more open to interpretation. This competition was organized by Vita under AngleSurf, supported by Momentum Mod, and judged by veteran judges and surfers Juxtapo, Hardex, Synchronize, Louie, and Calf. A common complaint in past competitions has been a lack of transparency in the judging process. So, before we get into the results, we want to briefly explain how the maps were judged for Perspective 2. Just like prior competitions, maps were judged over 6 categories, using golf scoring. The lower, the better. These 6 categories were as follows. Accessibility. Was the difficulty curve too steep? Was the route intuitive? Did the map have substantial visibility? Replayability. Was there content for different skill levels, including multiple routes to the finish? And overall enjoyment. Is the map fun to play or are there frustrating elements? Theme execution. Was there decay? Did it miss the point? Charm. How immersive is the map? Does it convey the theme properly? And lastly, originality. Are there novel gameplay elements or design choices? Accessibility, replayability, and enjoyment were averaged into an overall surf score, while the theme execution, charm, and originality were averaged into an overall design score. These surfer design scores would then be used to obtain a final score, with a 60% weighting for surf and a 40% weighting for design, which would then be used to identify the best 3 maps. Let's get into the map, starting with Surf Deteriorate. This map was created by Nutwoomy. Largely a zombie escape and death run mapper, Nutwoomy decided to try their hand at creating a surf map for the first time in this competition. The map is very densely detailed, with a similar style to Surf Angst, and achieves solid scores in related design categories. This strong similarity, however, resulted in an increase in the originality score. The map also had some serious issues with difficulty. Several judges and playtesters thought the map would be rated as a tier 3 after testing. All in all, while Nutwoomy's general mapping experience certainly reflected in their solid detailing, the overall awkward design of the surf left things a little too difficult to qualify for the tier 1 to 2 requirement of the contest. However, we can't wait to see what Nutwoomy produce with a little more surf experience. Next, we have Surf Echo. This map was created by King Curtis, who is known for his prior map Surf Fractal and takes the form of a facility once used for studying geological change that had been left to decay. This map is definitely on tier, with fairly clean and solid surf design, though the surf could be considered initially confusing in 1 or 2 areas due to the routes crossing over the symmetrical paths and the room design not giving strong guidance. The general theming is visually appealing, but other maps satisfy the decay theme more overtly. This is likely due to the time constraints Curtis faced, only being able to spend 2 or 3 weeks on his submission. This brings us to the 3 cash prize winners, starting off with 3rd place. Surf Destruction. This map was created by Sonia, who is known for her prior map Surf Pandora and her collaboration on surf culture. This wonderfully detailed map is described as being the remnants of a developed civilization who, in their pursuit of power and the creation of energy, caused the disintegration of the world. This is reflected in the design of the map, with a very ethereal vibe created by the open sky design and a variety of floating and spinning objects. This map received quite good scores for design categories, but struggled to accrue strong scores when it came to the surf. This was due to the high speeds, combined with awkward obstacle placement and design choices in the latter portions of the map. All in all, a solid map with some minor issues, definitely deserving of the 3rd place award. Finally, that brings us to our 2nd and 1st place maps. By now you know it's between the 2 strongest contenders, but which will take the crown? Our 2nd place prize winner is Surf Agony. Created by Proxy Chains, who is known for his prior map Surf Angst, Surf Agony is a masterclass in detailing, considered by many to be one of the most visually stunning maps created so far in Surf. Agony scored extremely well in all aspects of design, an average of 3.25 across all judges. Proxy Chain pays attention to the little things. Every single chain makes a sound. Soundscapes differ with each corridor. Skips are built into the structure of the map, with lots of custom models to make up the map's hellish aesthetic. The map also had a solid score of 6.4 for its surf average. The overall flow of the surf is solid, although it could be improved in some areas. For example, one judge reported that the surf was less than intuitive, but once learned was the funnest map to run in the entire pool. However, the judges' scores implied that the map was less enjoyable to run repeatedly than the 1st place finisher, Nuclear. Spy Complex is the winner of the Perspective 2 2022 mapping contest. The design of the rooms and ramps were absolutely in line with Intuition. The surf was extremely flowy, and every ramp feels as though it were placed with your units and position in mind. The majority of playtesters that launched a map one-shot it without ever seeing it before. Because of this, the map is highly replayable and lends towards optimization, and Nuclear was just 1 point off from a perfect score in overall enjoyment. Spy Complex also executed the theme very well, choosing to interpret decay as the abandonment and dilapidation of a facility or structure. He uses a lot of props, with bonuses hitting the prop limit. The usage of extraneous detailing is in line with the theme. Lots of pipes, scaffolding, ladders, etc., selling the idea that the player is surfing within an abandoned facility. The map is not as flashy as other submissions in the contest, and is therefore rated higher in the charm category for not being as visually impressive at first glance. Regardless, Spy Complex created a map for all that stays true to its character and surely will be loved by generations of surfers to come. As with the previous contest, all entries will soon be live on KSF servers. The organizers and judges congratulate each mapper for their contribution to the community and thank each person that donated and made this mapping contest possible.